lucky to have the one and only Trevor Rawnsley from ARAMA joining us today. Trevor, I know we've known each other for quite a few years now, we really have. And I think one of the questions I haven't asked you is how did you not only become involved with ARAMA, but the Chief Executive Officer of ARAMA?
Well, I'm very privileged to be the CEO, but it wasn't a career path that I chose. I sort of grew into it. So I started as an operator. So I spent about 7 or 8 years as an operator of 2 particular different types of buildings. And before I could purchase my 3rd building, I was asked to take on a role to help ARAMA become a little more organised and structured. So during that journey, I was on a volunteer branch committee. So ARAMA is really made up of a lot of good volunteers that help to support the industry. So I learnt a lot of things, saw a lot of things that needed to be improved, thought I would take this role on for a couple of years until we reorganised the constitution and got some structure in place, and then go and buy another building.
So did that 3rd building ever actually eventuate?
That was 11 years ago. So
okay.
I'm 11 years into a 2-year plan.
Okay, wow, that's pretty impressive. Did you ever think that you would be CEO? Was this ever in your dreams or?
No, no, it wasn't a plan. My intention was to continue to operate. I really like the business of management rights. I've enjoyed being an operator. I'm very privileged in that I'm now a representative of an industry and an advocate of an industry, yet I have grown up through the industry. And I'm one of those few people who can advocate for an industry association and understand what it's like to be an operator. So I'm very fortunate, and I think that helps ARAMA as well.
Of course.
Gives it credibility.
Definitely, fantastic. Now, ARAMA do many things, and sometimes we don't always hear about them. Even as a member, we don't always hear about what ARAMA is doing. So is there anything that you guys are doing behind the scenes at the moment that we may not be aware of?
Some of our best work is behind the scenes. So in some respects, we're a little bit like the iceberg. You'll see a percentage of things in the public domain, things like training and education, member assistance programs, discounts on insurance and other things that we do bring to industry. But the majority of the good work we do is in terms of legislative reform. So we have some really good laws that help to have been crafted over the last 30 years nearly, that have helped to create an industry that we know as management letting rights. And so part of my role is to protect and defend those really good laws that are balanced. They protect consumers and they protect business and make sure that nobody buggers it up. So, and then part of it is also to look at reforms that can benefit the industry. And so that's, most of my work is about influencing policymakers at government across all states, and also representing the industry. So in some respects, I'm like a rep for management rights.
Absolutely. So where would, and this is an interesting question, where do you think the industry would be if ARAMA didn't actually even exist?
Yeah, well, there would be no industry value that we currently know. So the dependability of the management rights business model is a sum of its parts. It has a good, solid, dependable letting component, income, cash flow from letting. It has a building management ethos and a role that is in the best interest of the scheme. And it's popular with banks, and it's organised by lawyers, and it's verified by accountants. So and it's expanded by sales brokers such as resort brokers. So all of those things contribute to a really solid industry, and ARAMA's role is to help all of those parts, including operations and service provision, flourish.
Excellent. And this is why ARAMA is so important to be part of. So I guess my last question for you, Trevor, is how can we support the industry, whether we're managers, brokers, industry experts, how can we support the industry that supports us?
Well, JFK said, ask not what the country can do for you. And so ARAMA is saying, ask not what ARAMA can do for you, ask what you can do for ARAMA. The best thing you can do is be a member of ARAMA. We're a not-for-profit peak industry body that relies on membership funds in order to do its advocacy work and to provide all the other benefits. And those funds are spent, 100% are spent on membership benefits. And without those membership funds, there's no one who can spend the time and money required. But also it's about numbers, not just dollars and cents. It's far more impactful for me to talk to a government policymaker or take my story to government when we represent thousands and thousands of buildings rather than hundreds and hundreds of buildings.
Absolutely.
A quick example of that is we know that in Queensland, the collective sales of management rights contributes about $150 million in state government stamp duty each year. It's a big number that impresses policy writers.
Absolutely.
And it impresses politicians.
Impresses me.
Yeah, well, it's a good number. So I wish the
amazing.
Treasurer good luck each year in Queensland when he's doing a budget, or she's doing a budget, to keep that in consideration. If you crash management rights, reduce the value, you've got a hole in your budget.
Absolutely.
And so
Big hole.
part of that also is ARAMA in some respects is a union of small business operators, and unions need members, people, and people need to come together and help each other. So that's what ARAMA facilitates that. So yes, we need funds through membership subscriptions, but we also need everyone in the industry to be a member and be involved. And involved might be just pay your dues, or it might be help others, which is many of the things I haven't talked about today that ARAMA does do. We can connect we can connect operators, particularly new operators, with support structures from experienced operators who've been there, done that, or capable professionals who can help guide them in a business that is almost unique. There's nothing quite like management rights.
It is nothing quite like management rights, and there's nothing quite like ARAMA, which is why hopefully people see this video. You can also access straight to the ARAMA website through the link that we've posted on the end of this video, and subscribe. Be part of the industry that helps and supports all of us and our livelihoods and our families. So honestly, from me as a broker and an ex-operator myself, I thank you. I love being part of ARAMA. I think it's very informative, and what you do for our industry is just absolutely second to none, Trevor. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Chenoa. Please join us.
Thank you.
Thanks.